guys, first of all, let's say thanks to our God because with His grace we can gather on this opportunity in this afternoon. Secondly, I would like to say thanks to our honorable lecturer, Member Taria Hutauruk, SPD, MPD. And thank you for this opportunity to make this presentation. We are from Group 1, we'll discuss about interference and language choice. So, before we start, let me introduce my team first. I'm Swasti Lumban Raja as a moderator, and with my team, Meilani Sihaloho as a first speaker, Swasti Lumban Raja as the second speaker, Fernando Raja Guguk as the third speaker, Victoria Siagian as the fourth speaker, and the last speaker is Sony Brando. Alright, before we start our presentation, I will read out the schedule. The first session is opening, the second session is presentation, and the third session is question and answer session. I hope during the presentation, please give your attention. Alright guys, we will start now. The first speaker, time is yours.
Alright, my name is Melanie Mutiara Sihaloho and I want to explain about language interference. Language transfer, or also known as a first language interference, linguistic interference, and cross-meaning, refers to speakers or writers applying knowledge from their native language to a second language. Dolay et al. 1982 define interference as the automatic transfers due to habit of the suffix structure of the first language onto the suffix of the target language. When an individual's understanding of one language has an impact on his or her understanding of another language, that individual is experiencing language transfer. They can be negative transfers, otherwise known as interference, when the understanding of one language complicates the understanding of another language. Alternatively, they can be positive transfer, such that knowing one language can aid in developing skill for a second language. Language interference is the effect of the language learner's first language on their production of the language they are learned. It means that the speaker's first language influences his or her second and his or her fourth language. The effect can be on any aspect of language, grammar, vocabulary, accent, spelling, and so on. Language interference is considered as one of error source or negative transfer, although where the relevant feature of the both languages is the same, it results in correct language production or positive transfer. The greater the difference between the two languages, the more negative the effect of the interest are likely to be. It will inevitably occur in any situation where someone has not mastered on second language. Alright guys, this is my explanation from language interference. Thank you.
Alright guys, I'm Swasti Lumban Raja. I will continue for the next part. Yeah, there are three types of interference. The first one is phonological interference, the second is morphological interference, and the third is synthetical interference. So, let me explain by and by. The first one, phonological interference. So, what is phonological interference? Yeah, phonological interference is interference that happens in sound level. For example, Japanese people say the name of place which have sound B, D, Z, and Z, like Bandung becomes Bandung, Delhi becomes Delhi. They pronounce word F or V is spoken P, like okay, never forget, see you, becomes okay, never forget, see you. And the second one is morphological interference. What is morphological interference? Morphological interference is an interference level that happen in grammatical level. For example, trader in Bali speak with the tourists using word not grammatically. They add suffix s like this painting is very old, sir. It should be this is a very old painting, sir. They also often repeat the form like tomorrow, come back, sir. And the third, that is syntactical interference. What is syntactical interference? Syntactic level is interference that happen in sentence level. For example, rumah ayah Ali yang besar itu di kampung ini becomes rumahnya ayahnya Ali yang besar sendiri di kampung ini. Dan makanan itu telah saya makan becomes makanan itu telah dimakan oleh saya.
Okay guys, I will try to continue. According to Lott, there are three factors that cause the interference. The first, the interlingual factor. According to Corder in research, says that errors are the result interference in learning a second language from the habit of the first language. Because of the difference in system, especially grammar, the students will transfer their first language into the second language by using their mother tongue system. And the second, the over-intention of analogy. Usually, a learner has been wrong in using a vocabulary caused by the similarity of the element between first language and second language. Example, the use of cognate words or the same form of words in two languages with different function or meanings. The example is the using of mouth and moon. Indonesian learners may make a mistake by using month to say moon in the space. Okay, the third, transfer of structure. Interference is the deviation of target language as a result of their familiarity with more than one language. According to Dulay, differentiates interference into two parts, the psychological and sociolinguistic. The psychological refers to the influence of old habits when new ones are being learned, where sociolinguistic refers to interaction of language when two language communities are in contact. Therefore, students will find it difficult mastering the second language due to interference, which is influenced by old habit, familiar with mother tongue, and interaction of two languages in the communities. And next, part C, effect of language interference. According to Berthold et al., define psychological interference as items including foreign action such as stress, rhythm, intonation, and speech sound from the first language influencing the second. Grammatical interference is defined as the first language influences the second in terms of word order, use of pronouns, and determined tense and mood. Interference at a lexical level provides for the borrowing of words from one language and converting them to sound more natural in another, and anthropographic interference includes the spelling of the one language altering another. The most common source of error is in the process of learning a foreign language, where the native tongue interference, but interference may occur in the other context situation, or as in multilingualism. Okay, next, language choice. In multilingual communities, more than one language is used. It means that people living in situations may speak more than one language. When interaction with others, they can choose a code or a variety which are appropriate with participants. Topic and location. According to Holmes, the linguistic form chosen by a speaker is influenced by social context in which he is talking. It matters who he is talking to or participants, where he is talking or setting that he is talking about topic, and why he is talking or function of interaction. As a result, the rates differently to different people. Okay.
Okay friends, I will introduce myself. My name is Victoria Veronica Borpatosi. I'm from Group B. Here, I want to explain about language choice. Language choice are the lexical and structural choice that you make every time you use language. Your choices are influenced by context and register. You choose certain words and forms depending on who you are speaking to and what you want to say. In academic writing and speaking, you are generally working in a professional environment with other individuals from your field, or you're studying and reading information, theories and ideas, as well as expressing your own. According to Ralph Fasold, the language choice is not as simple as we imagine. Choosing a language as a whole language in a communication event. We imagine someone who has two or more languages should choose which language he or she will use. For the example, a person who mastered Japanese language and Indonesian must choose one of the two languages when talking to others. Cues of language choice. Language choice is bilingual or multilingual social interaction is caused by various social or cultural factors. Evan Tripp identifies four main factors as a marker of speaker language selection and social interactions. Number 1, setting or place and date and situation. Number 2, participants in the interactions. Number 3, the topic of conversation. And then number 4, the interactions function.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I'm going to explain about effect of language choice. According to Fishman 1972-92, suggests that in studying bilingual or multilingual societies should be concerned with the presence or absence of diglossia. The term diglossia was first introduced by Ferguson 1959 to describe the linguistic situation found in Greek Arabian, Swiss and Haitian countries. In each country, there are two different languages. The first variant is the high language variety. The alphabet is T, used in official situation, whereas the latter is the range of low language. The alphabet is R, used in unofficial day-to-day situation. The variety of languages spoken in official situation, such as lectures, parliamentary sessions, and sermons in places of worship, is considered a prestigious language by the language community concerned. The occurrence of bilingual or multilingual society is one of the effects of language choice. The attitude of language of the respondent has a significant effect on the behavior of the language choice. Only negative and neutral language attitude toward the language whose influence is very significant, while the negative attitude and very positive gives no significant influence. Contribution of influence is showing that the attitude of language is not the only factor that determines the election's language. This attitude gives the tendency of Japanese speakers to slowly lead to the use of Indonesian language. Ideally, Java people will differ because of their pride in the Japanese language, but in this case, they are beginning to shift to the Indonesian language. The cause may be due to orientation of parenting, adaptation to the child's needs for education, or job demands. Okay, I think that's all about our presentation today. Thank you and see you.
Thank you for your attention. That's all for our group presentation. So now, question and answer session. Please give your question and our group will answer the question by and by. Thank you.